Hi, I'm Sally and this is the tutorial for my house design or charm. You will need a colour for your roof, colour for the main part of the house, 8 clear bands for the windows, or you could use white or whichever colour you like, and a colour for the door at the front. So let's make a start. So taking your loom, and you want to have this in the straight configuration. So if you turn it upside down and use this tool on the end of your hook, and you can just lever it off. Oops. So you just levering the blue parts of the loom, and it'll all fall to bits like that. And then you can just place each of the rows so that they're all straight, like that, so they're all the same length here. Okay, we're going to make our house in 2 parts, so we're going to start on the first half. So I'm going to use black for my roof and brown for the main part of the house, same as I have done in the other design. So I am taking 2 black bands and I am placing them diagonally here, and I'm placing diagonal bands again here, and there's a slope of our roof, and I am going down once. Now this is my left hand side. The camera does mirror the image, so if you do it as you see it, it won't matter. It will just mean that you're working the other way around to me. But once this part's done, I'll be doing it in the opposite way for the other half of the house. So either way, it's entirely up to you. But this is my left hand side, so my right hand side is here. So if I say left and it looks like it's my right side, then that's why. Okay, so we're going down twice down the middle, 2 black bands, like so, and then 3 down the side where you've got the highest point. Oops. Like so. So you've got the roof shape. Okay. And we're going to go down this side, so the side where you've only placed 1 band, we're going down 5 times with 2 brown bands. So just straight down. This is quite a simple design. It's not too tricky. So we've gone down 5 times with the brown or whatever colour you're using for the main of your house. Okay, and now down the centre we're going 1 lot of brown, then we're taking double clear bands, if I can get hold of them, and that's a window. We're going down again once with brown, and then again once, oops, with clear bands here, and then once more with brown. So you're alternating down the centre with brown and clear bands. And then on the side, that's my right, the side where you've got the 3 black bands for the roof, we're going down 4 times with brown. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you want to do the last band here with whatever colour you want to use for your front door. So again, I'm going to use red, and you just place that like so. So it's like this, and we're just going to place bands across the bottom here. So we're going to use brown, or the main colour you've used, and we're going straight across the bottom. So from this side and into the centre, and then like so. Okay, so this is what you should have, like this, placing a cap band onto this bottom pin here. So single band wrap 3 times. We're going to place some holding bands on. Now with this one, I didn't double my bands, and it's a bit of a looser design. If you want it to be more tight and close together, then you can double your bands. I'm going to double them so I can show you the difference at the end. So you're just taking a single band, stretching it out, crossing it over so it's a figure of 8, and just doubling it back around your fingers. We're placing this straight across your loom. So you're coming to the top of your front door colour, and it's straight across here. You won't need one here because you've already got your bands going across. Okay, so same thing again. Doubling my bands, placing across my loom, and I'm doing this on every row up. Okay, this just holds the design together and stops the rows from separating. Okay. Oops. Twisted that the wrong way then. Bands that ping on your fingers do hurt, I have to say. I should be used to it by now. And again, I'm just doing it with the black across this part of the roof, and that's the last horizontal band I'm going to put on. So this is what you should have, like this. There's one thing we need to do before we loop up. We need to place some bands along this edge here, and these will be bands that we use to attach this half to the second half of the design. So again, as I've just shown you, we're going to double bands. You stretch it out, figure of 8, wrap it back around your fingers, and we're just going to place this over this pin here. And we're going to do the same, so placing one little doubled band all the way up to this pin here. This one here, you won't need one, and I will show you why in a moment. Okay, so you're just working your way up, putting these little doubled over bands. Around each pin, and that one's unraveled, so we're going to do it again. There we go. And then as you get to the black bands, switch and use black, because you just want these bands to sort of hide in the design. Okay, and once you've done this, we can begin to loop. So taking your hook, we're going to start by going in the centre bottom, in through that cap band, and you're finding the top 2 bands and just looping them round and out whichever side they need to go to. So wherever the bands come from, you're looping it back onto itself, going back in again, getting the next 2 that are on top, looping them round and back out, and then going back in and getting the last 2. Okay, so it's like this, it's sort of a T shape. I'm going to work my way up the shorter side first, so I'm just going to go in through all of these bands, finding the bottom 2 and looping up, and I'm doing that all the way up. So you're just pushing the horizontal ones away with the back of your hook and looping forwards. Like so. and I'm just going to loop up the first part, the diagonal band even, of the roof. So just looping that to that middle pin there. Then I go back down to where the cap band was, and I'm going to loop up the centre part of my house. So just looping forwards, and then you're going in through this pin here and looping up the second part of the roof, like so. Then we're going back down to the bottom, and you're looping up the band that is the colour of the front door of the house. And these little doubled bands, you just want to push them out of the way, same with the horizontal bands, and just loop in the bottom too. And you're just working your way all the way up. Like so. Okay. And then once you've looped up this half of your house, taking a single black band and taking your hook, you're going in through this very top pin, sort of like the peak, the highest point of the roof, in through all of the bands, and stick your hook out here. Place this band over the end of your hook, stretch it out over your finger or your thumb, and you're just pulling this band through, okay, and placing the other end on your hook like that. So you've got one band that's going all the way around the other bands, and once you've done this, you can place it onto a holding hook. You will need something just to hold these two bands here, because at the moment these are holding all of this half together. And then once you've got those, you can remove it. If you don't have a holding hook, you can place it at the bottom of your loom as well. So just carefully, a little wiggle if you need to, just remove it from your loom. And here you have half a house. And as you can see along here, you've got sort of a frilly edge where we've put those little doubled bands. Okay, so placing that half to one side, I'm going to do the same thing again, but in the reverse, sort of in the mirror image, I suppose. It's the other way around anyway. So again, we're placing diagonal bands, but from this point and going down. This is why I said at the beginning, it doesn't matter the fact that it's mirrored, because we'll need to do going each way anyway. Okay, and then from the lowest point we're going up, down 1, then in the centre 2, and then down this side 3, oops, okay, and then down the side where you've only got the 1, we're going down 5 times with the main house colour. Okay, and then down the centre we're alternating the brown and the clear bands. So starting with brown, so 2 brown bands, 2 clear bands, brown, and clear, and then brown, and then we're going down here 4 times. And then adding the colour you're using for your front door. So again, mine's red, like so. Placing bands across here, so 2 bands and 2 bands, like that. Placing a cap band in the centre. Like that. We're going to add on the other half of our house now. So I'll explain this as best I can. So taking the 2 hooks that you have that's holding everything together, and you want to attach these to the very top point up here. Like that. And then we're going to work along the edge of our house. So as you can see here, there's 2 bands sticking out. I'm just going to pull these and place them around the next pin down. Then I'm going back to the other half of the house, finding the next 2 and putting them around the next pin down. And I'm going to do this all the way down. So just taking the next 2 loops. So there should be like 2 bands that you take each time. If you've only got 1, then there's another one in there somewhere. And if you've got more than 2, then you've picked up an extra band. So if you just let go and then try again, you should be fine. So you're just pulling out all of these little rounded bands. All the way down to the bottom. So there we go, there's the extension, like that. Just give you a minute just to catch up, because I know it can be tricky if you're doing it for the first time, like that. And then we're going to place on our horizontal bands. So again, I'm doubling mine, so stretching them out, crossing them over, and I'm placing them across exactly the same as I did on the other half. So I'm just working my way up. So you're not placing them across the bottom, you're starting on the second row up, and you're just working your way across using your main house colour. And going across. And again, I'm switching to black. On this one here where you've got brown and black bands, it doesn't matter too much which colour band you do, so it's entirely your choice. This one will need a black band, but this one will blend in either way. Okay, and once you've done that, you're ready to loop. So again, we're going in through this middle cap band at the bottom, finding the top 2 bands and looping out, going back in through the cap band, finding the top 2 bands and looping to whichever pin those bands have come from, and then taking the last 2, going up the shorter side of the house. Okay, and you're just looping all the way up. And again, the first diagonal part can be looped off the roof. Going to start going up the centre, so just moving all of the horizontal bands out of the way and just looping the bottom 2. Oops. And then looping the second part of the diagonal up to the top. So now I've just got this longer edge to do with the extension. So I'm going in through the bottom bands, finding the bottom 2, looping forwards, going in through all of the bands, all the extension bands and everything, and just looping forwards the bottom 2. And you're doing the same all the way up. You're only looping forward the bottom 2, like so. Oops, and that's just pinged right off there. Okay, so once you've looped it all, this is what it should look like. I'm going to take 2 black bands and again I'm going to take my hook through this top pin and stick it out the sides. So through all the bands, stick it out the sides, and we're going to do the same as we just did but with double bands. Okay, and just pull them through and take them around the back and place the other end of the bands on your hook, taking these bands here, so the ones that are up highest, try this so you can see a bit better, so these bands here, and you're just taking that over the ends of your hook and letting go, pulling to make a slip knot, and you can let it go then. Once you've done that and it's tied off, you can remove from your loom. And here we have our house. Just give it a little stretch. Making sure that these bands that you use to tie off with are tight, but not so tight they snap. And you can see the difference between using the bands doubled and not doubled. You can see this is a much sort of more squashed together house, and this is wider. So it's entirely up to you, whichever you like the best, really. So there we go. There's our house, charm, design, whatever you want to call it. So I hope you've enjoyed making this. You can see the difference better now, I think. But anyway, please like and comment on this video. Let me know what you think of the design and of the tutorial. Hit subscribe to be notified when I bring out new tutorials, which at the moment is every couple of days. A lot of ideas I want to share with you, so I'm getting them on as and when I can. I do have other commitments as well, so I'm trying to juggle everything. I am on Instagram and Twitter at Sally's Looming. If you'd like to find me, follow me. I do follow back. You can make requests and comment on there, and you can also show me pictures of your finished results. It's always lovely to see how your designs turn out for any of my tutorials. I'm also on Facebook. If you search Sally's Looming, all one word, and you'll find my group on there, where again you can share pictures and make comments, requests. Alternatively, you can just comment under this video. Any way is good, they will all get to me. So there we go. There's our house charm. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it and you're pleased with how your charms come out. And I'll see you next time. Bye.